Welcome to medicinal biochemistry class on nucleic acid metabolism. So in your last class, we discussed transcription. So that is biosynthesis of RNA from DNA. And then we had a brief insight on different types of RNA and their biological role. So today we will learn translation, like how these RNAs help in protein synthesis. So this is the second part of protein synthesis. The first part is transcription. Okay. At the end of this class, the student shall be able to define translation, explain structure of tRNA, explain translation process, that is different steps in translation process, and explain post-translational modifications. Okay, so this is just this slide shows the 20 different amino acids that are involved in the structure of protein. Okay, so which are part of the protein structure: glycine, alanine, serine, threonine, cysteine, valine, leucine, isoleucine, methionine, proline, phenylalanine, tyrosine, tryptophan, aspartic acid, glutamic acid, asparagine, glutamine, histidine, lysine, and arginine. Okay, so here in protein, in translation process, so what happens is, so the mRNA in the form of codon will carry the information. So like out of these 20 amino acid, which amino acid has to be added in the at that particular point of time. Okay, so different mRNAs will be carrying those codons, and they'll provide the information to tRNA, and tRNA will carry the specific amino acid based on the information provided by mRNA and add it to the polypeptide chain. Okay. Okay. So the translation is the second part of the central dogma of molecular biology. So the first part is transcription, where RNA is synthesized from using a template strand of DNA. And now this RNA has to be converted to protein. So the central dogma, what it says, that is DNA replicates itself, and then this DNA strand is used for the synthesis of RNA, and then from RNA protein is synthesized. Okay, from RNA protein is synthesized. So this is the process in which the genetic code in mRNA is read to make a protein. Okay, so the mRNA that is synthesized is used, it will carry the information in the form of codon. Okay, so these codons are a set of 3 nucleotides. Different nucleotides will form different codons, and different codons will put for different amino acid that will be part of polypeptide chain. Okay, so each group of 3 nucleotides in the mRNA is called as what? Codon. So these different set of codons will code for different set of amino acids. Okay, one codon will code for one amino acid. Okay, so after mRNA leaves the nucleus, so it will reach the ribosome, which is a combination of ribosomal RNA and proteins. So the ribosome will bind to the translation initiation sequence on the mRNA. So then the ribosomes moving down the mRNA in the 5' to 3' direction. So they will come across a sequence of codons in the mRNA. Okay, so based on this, what happens is the molecules of tRNA will bring amino acids to the ribosome in the correct sequence. So this will create a new polypeptide. Okay, so here one important fact is the first amino acid on the polypeptide has a free amino group, so it is called as what? N-terminal. And the last amino acid in the polypeptide has a free acid, that is carboxylic acid group, so it is called as C-terminal. Okay, so now we will look into the structure of tRNA, which is very important to study translation process. Okay, so transfer RNAs are short RNAs, so that fold into an characteristic clover leaf pattern. So it is having the shape of clover leaf. So these are short RNAs, and each tRNA has three bases that make up the anticodon. So here you have the three bases that make up the anticodon. So these anticodons have the ability to pair with the three bases of the codons on the mRNA during translation. So when they pair with the codons on the mRNA, what happens? They take out the information like what amino acid has to be transferred to the ribosome. Okay. So the next thing is the each tRNA has its corresponding amino acid attached to the 3' end of its chain RNA structure. Okay. So once it reads, what happens? It will carry the amino acid. Okay. So a set of enzymes known as amino acyl tRNA synthetases are used to charge the tRNA with proper amino acid. So this amino acid is attached by a set of enzymes called as amino acyl tRNA synthetases. So the third base of the anticodon is called as obal position. So the third base of the anticodon is called as obal position, and it can form base pairs with several different nucleotides. Okay, so it is having the capacity to form base pairs with several different nucleotides. Some tRNA can pair with more than one codon, and some tRNA will pair only with specific type of codon. Okay, so now the translation, the process of translation. Translation involves three steps: initiation, elongation, and termination. So, and this is followed by post-translational modification. So now we'll look into initiation. So in the initiation, what happens is it involves joining the mRNA, the initiator methionine tRNA, and the small ribosomal unit. So here it creates the platform. So that is mRNA. So it joins mRNA and then tRNA. So here you have this tRNA. So the first initiator tRNA will be carrying methionine as amino acid. Okay, and then the small ribosomal unit. So this is the small ribosomal unit and a larger ribosomal unit. So and then here you have the tRNA and the mRNA. Okay, so several initiation factors are also involved here, so which are which we will not be discussing much. Okay, so the large ribosomal unit then joins this complex. So this is the larger ribosomal unit, so this will join the complex. So this is having three different parts: E unit, P unit, and A unit. So we will learn their role in the next upcoming slide. Okay. So the translation begins at AUG codon or sometimes GUG codon. When the mRNA carries AUG, that is adenine, uracil, and guanine as codons. So and when it binds with tRNA, it will bring methionine. Okay, so these AUG and GUG are called as start codons. These code for methionine amino acid. Okay, so the modified amino acid, that is N-formyl methionine, is always the first amino acid of the new polypeptide. So when tRNA binds with AUG or GUG, it will bring methionine, that is N-formyl methionine, which is the first amino acid. Okay, so in eukaryotes, ribosomes will bind to the 5' cap. Okay, so then move down the mRNA. So they will bind to the 5' cap of the mRNA until they reach AUG, the start codons. So once they reach AUG, so the tRNA will bring modified, that is N-formyl methionine. Okay, so eukaryotic mRNAs code for only a single G. So translation does not start at the first base of the mRNA. It has to travel a certain distance until it comes across AUG or GUG. Okay, so the region which it travels on the mRNA before it can reach the start, that is start codons, AUG or GUG, it is called as untranslated region. So known as 5' untranslated region, and it is abbreviated as is transferred to the tRNA on the A site. Okay, so this will form a new peptide bond. So here threonine is the next amino acid, so that is brought by tRNA based on the mRNA codon, and then methionine, the start amino acid, will be transferred to this tRNA on the A side, and the ribosome will then move down one more codon. So the now empty tRNA at the P site is displaced off. It is displaced off. So this tRNA will move from A site, it will move to P site, and from P site it will move to E site, from where it is eliminated. Okay, so the tRNA that has growing peptide chain on it is moved from A site to P site. Okay, so again the process is repeated. So the P site tRNA, so one more new tRNA with a new amino acid will come and come into A site. Then the P site tRNA will transfer it amino peptide chain to A site tRNA. So a new peptide bond is formed. Okay, so then the empty tRNA is eliminated. Again the process is repeated. Okay. Once all the required amino acids are added in sequence to the polypeptide chain, so the protein synthesis has to be terminated. Okay, so the termination process begins once the ribosomes comes across the stop codon. Either it can be any one of this, that is UAA, UAG, or UGA. Okay, so these stop codons do not code for any amino acids. Okay, when the ribosomes arrive at the stop codon, so tRNA does not bind to these stop codons. Okay, so hence, so this is an indication to stop the protein synthesis. Once these stop codons arrive, the proteins called release factors will bind and cause the ribosome, the mRNA, and the new polypeptide chain to separate. Okay, so the mRNA will continue on past the stop codon, and the remaining portion is not translated. So this is known as 3' untranslated region. Okay, so the region in the mRNA before start codons arrives is called as 5' mRNA region, and the region after the termination that in the mRNA is called as 3' untranslated region. Okay, once the protein is released from ribosomes, they undergo certain modifications before they reach the particular organ. So the new polypeptide then folds itself to a particular active conformation. So then some proteins are helped and guided in folding by chaperone proteins. Sugar, phosphate group, fatty acids, and other molecules are covalently attached to certain amino acids in the endoplasmic reticulum. And that after these modifications, so the targeting is accomplished by signal sequences that are present on the polypeptide. So what are these signal sequence? Signal sequence is a group of amino acids at the end terminal of the polypeptide. So these sequence of amino acids will decide like where it has to be transferred, which organ it has to be transferred. Once the transfer is over, so these signal sequences are removed. Okay, so these signal sequences are removed. Okay, so finally, in summary, so translation involves 3 major steps. So that is initiation, where small ribosomal unit, mRNA, and large ribosomal unit and tRNA will combine. And then the second step is elongation, where the polypeptide chain is elongated. So the first amino acid that is coded is methionine. So then it is transferred to the new tRNA that is coming in. So the tRNA, empty tRNA is eliminated, and the tRNA carrying polypeptide chain is transferred from A site to P site. and the new tRNA with the new amino acid will come in and it will transfer the, and again the tRNA in the P site will transfer the amino acid to the tRNA in the A site, and the empty tRNA is eliminated, and this process is repeated until the polypeptide chain is completely prepared. Once the protein is completely formed, then the release factors will release the protein, tRNA and mRNA and ribosomes. Okay, and this protein will undergo post-translation modifications, which involves folding, addition of other molecules like fatty acids, carbohydrates, sugar. Okay, and then it is transported to specific organs based on the signal sequences, and these signal sequences are removed off once they reach the final destination, once the protein reaches the final destination. Okay, happy learning. Thank you.